But let's begin this way. Today marks the first day of the planned nationwide protest as some Nigerians anticipate the unfolding of this August event. Others are concerned about the security implications that may arise. The federal government has again appealed to Nigerians to shun the planned protest scheduled to commence today in the interest of peace. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and some key ministers held a press conference on Wednesday where they recognized the people's freedom to protest but strongly advised against vandalism and violence.
The ongoing economic hardships, and they are improving anyway, would abate very soon, and we shall all enjoy endless prosperity. We therefore appeal to Nigerians of whatever persuasion, belief, demography, gender, and status to shun cause for protests against hunger by prioritizing peace and progress. For avoidance of doubts, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR recognizes the right to peaceful protest, but circumspection and vigilance should be our watchwords.
The provision of the Nigerian Students' Loan Scheme has a provision to cover 2 million students. Already, disbursements have started, and as at last week, NEL Fund has received application in excess of 120,000 and is also ongoing. Now, the message of Mr. President is that there is no child that has the requisite qualification and that has the desire to go to school that will be left out simply because his parent or guardian is unable to pay for his fees.
As other countries have done, innovation and imagination and proper appreciation that decades of underinvestment brought us to where we are can catalyze us and galvanize us and enable us to form a consensus that can help us solve the problem.
And government officials have also appealed to Nigerians not to embark on protests in order not to jeopardize the economy of the country. The Minister of Water Resources, Bello Goronyo, made the appeal during a town hall meeting with youth representatives, keke and Okada riders, and market women in Abuja on Wednesday. They cited the aftermath of NSAS protests that happened in 2020 and urged them to avoid a reoccurrence.
They have already resolved that they will not join the protest, but they will go into dialogue. They will continue to dialogue with Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu because they have realized that protest does not pay. Dialogue is the way to go.
And everyone that has come here, both the youth, the diverse groups that are represented here, the Okada riders, everyone, the National Union of Road Transport Workers, all the other groups that are here, diverse groups, they have all agreed that this president is a listening president and we need to give him the opportunity to serve us better.
A federal high court in the Federal Capital Territory has restricted participants in today's protest against the federal government to the MKO Abiola Stadium, also known as National Stadium. Justice Silvanus Origi issued the order while delivering ruling in an ex parte application brought before him by the Minister of the FCT. In the ex parte application argued by Ogu James Onoja, SAN, the FCT minister had applied for an order of interim injunction restraining the 5 leaders of the protesting groups from gathering or parading themselves along any roadway, streets, offices, and public premises within the FCT between today and August the 10th. Honorable Bashir Omolaja Bolarinwa, a political leader in Kwara State and former chairman of the National Broadcasting Commission, has appealed to those planning the proposed national protest scheduled to begin today to reconsider and cancel the protests. Mr. Bolarinwa made this known in a statement made available to TVC News. He based his appeal on the belief that protests have never resulted in positive outcomes, and instead there is a tendency for them to escalate into chaos over time. He said, quote, "While it is undeniable that times are tough, President Bola Tinubu's administration is making every effort to revitalize the economy and set it on a better path, end quote. Dr. Bolarinwa cautioned that, as always, protests could be taken over by troublemakers, leading to vandalism and a breakdown of law and order, which is counterproductive. He suggested that rather than taking to the streets, which could spiral out of control, youth can also contribute to nation building by engaging and coming together to offer constructive suggestions to the government on how to address the numerous challenges facing the nation. And the Lagos State government has appealed to residents to consider the option of dialogue and peaceful protests rather than take to violence. This appeal was made at the Lagos West Stakeholders Engagement Forum. Senior reporter Ola Owakon also got reactions from the streets.
Less than 24 hours to the commencement of the planned protest, the Lagos State government has organized a series of engagements with critical stakeholders across the state. This is the Lagos West Peace Talk, and the secretary to the state government is here with some of the members of the State Executive Council and traditional rulers to update them on the effort of the government and to take the yearnings of the people to the governor.
Like basic amenities.
Having listened to the questions and observations, the appeal is for residents to avoid violent protests.
No to violent protests. This administration.
The secretary to the state government says the fear of hoodlums hijacking the protest and destroying public property is the reason for the appeal.
As a lawyer, I do know that it is constitutional. You have a right to protest. But also, the Constitution also does not want any wanton destruction of properties and lives. You will be the end losers if there is destruction of human beings and lives. Protest within the confines of the law, within the confines of comfort for every citizen of the state.
I want to advise the youth not to take part in the coming protest.
As the Lagos State government has engaged residents on the need to consider dialogue for peace, there are divergent opinions on the streets.
I don't believe in the protest in the format that we had answers in terms of destruction, violence.
It should be done because things are getting too much, as in things is too expensive now, especially when we are talking about food.
They have a reason to state their opinion or, to cry out.
Please talk to the government. We are suffering. We are suffering. The fact that they are waking up to see money every day, other people are not waking up to see anything. We want to cook Ilala Sepo now. We have to go and be borrowing money, 2,000 naira.
The Lagos State government pleads with residents to be patient and consider dialogue as the needs of the people are being attended to.